Here are the 6 lottery dispute stories that you won't believe. From shouting matches to workplace drama, we have some intriguing stories from around the world. So let's get straight to it. Number 6. Florida's verbal agreement battle. In 2007, Lynn Ann Poirier and Howard Browning promised something that would change lives forever. Their conflict started with a simple agreement. If, by some miracle, one of them hit the jackpot, they would split the fortune 50-50. Now, Lynn and Howard were no casual lottery players. They were the real deal. They would buy tickets pretty often in the hopes of winning the lottery. They even went on road trips to the north in states like Georgia and South Carolina to find the life-altering numbers. June 2, 2007 was the day when their fate changed. The couple made a pit stop at a local convenience store, and they grabbed 2 tickets for the Florida Lottery's Grand Firecracker Millionaire raffle. Everything seemed ordinary as they casually placed their tickets on the fireplace mantle at home. A month later, after the lottery drawing, Lynn was nowhere to be found. Howard was concerned about her sudden disappearance. He desperately searched for answers and realized he should check the tickets they had bought together. Guess what? One of the tickets had completely vanished. You've probably guessed it was the winning ticket. Lynn had claimed the prize money, and she collected a jaw-dropping $750,000 after paying the taxes. After that, she disappeared for 1 month. When Lynn finally came back, Howard did what any rational person would do. He asked for his rightful share. But what he got in return was a refusal. Lynn denied having promised to split the cash. But soon after Lynn's return, the story took a twist that you probably saw coming. Howard decided to take her to court. But there were 2 sides to this story. Lynn's version was very different from Howard's. She denied any agreement to share the winnings. And she even insisted that she had purchased the ticket solo. She claimed they had already broken up months before the ticket purchase. Moreover, she maintained that their chance of meeting at the convenience store that fateful night had been a pure coincidence. But Howard held on to their unwritten agreement tightly. This was his only hope. He argued that he had paid for the lottery tickets, and he even had an ATM receipt to back his claim. The court battle continued, with the he said, she said drama taking center stage. However, despite all the legal problems, Lynn used her best strategy. She mentioned Florida's statute of frauds. It's a law that says if an agreement can't be completed within a year, it needs to be written down to be legally valid. Lynn's genius move came at the perfect moment. The couple had agreed on their deal 14 years before she won the lottery. Because it wasn't written down, she said it didn't count anymore. The whole drama had everyone guessing. Would the lottery winner indeed be bound by a verbal agreement to split her newfound wealth? Now, you're in for a surprise. The answer was yes. The trial court and the Florida 5th District Court of Appeal sided with Lynn in 2012. Disappointed but still determined, Howard took the case all the way to the Supreme Court of Florida. And he won. The main point was that even though some time had passed, they could have kept their promise within a year if they had won sooner. This legal twist meant that the contract didn't need to be in writing to be enforceable. And in February 2016, Lynn found out she'd lost. She was ordered to pay Howard a staggering $291,000. But there's another unexpected development. Lynn claimed that she had spent all the money and promptly filed for bankruptcy. However, Howard was not ready to give up and challenged her bankruptcy claim. Whose side are you on in this crazy case? Lynn Ann Poirier and Howard Browning's verbal disagreement highlights that even unspoken agreements can carry immense weight in the eyes of the law. Unlike the next story on our list, which is a real head-scratcher. Number 5. Maryland McDonald's Mystery. Our next story takes us to a Maryland McDonald's, where the Mega Millions lottery caused quite a stir. Some workers at the McDonald's branch decided to put their money together to buy lottery tickets. They all hoped to hit the jackpot together. But as the numbers were drawn, something unexpected happened. Before we move on further, let's meet the central character of the whole drama. Merland Wilson, a 37-year-old lady. Now, on the day of the drawing, Merland claimed she won. And it wasn't just a small bonus either. She'd won a jaw-dropping $105 million after taxes. That's huge. But here's the interesting part. Merland shook everyone by saying that she didn't win with the group's ticket. She claimed she'd bought a separate ticket all by herself, and that one was the winner. Now, here's the mysterious part. Merland wouldn't show anyone her winning ticket. She made excuses like it was hidden somewhere secret, and she showed it to the lottery officials the day after the drawing. That got people curious and confused, and Merland's co-workers at the McDonald's were furious. They were not too thrilled with the idea that she might keep the whole stash all to herself. These hardworking people earned just over $7.50 an hour, and they added in their $5 each to join the pool. That was some serious money for them. And there's another unexpected turn in the story. A man named Alan claimed that Merland bought the group's tickets at a 7-Eleven in Milford Mill. It's the same place where the winning ticket came from. The tickets, along with a list of contributors, were safely stashed in the burger joint's office. But after the purchase had taken place on the 6th of April 2012, the McDonald's owner, Biro Desai, gave Merland an extra $5 to buy more tickets for the group. So she went back to the 7-Eleven and made the purchase. But instead of leaving them with the rest, she took those tickets home. That big reveal meant that Merland changed her statement again. She said that she didn't buy the lucky ticket for the office pool. She bought a second batch of tickets with a mystery friend, and the winning ticket was among those. It sure sounds like a lie, doesn't it? Seeing that things were getting out of control, Alan and his girlfriend went to Merland's house, and they told her that they were worried about her safety as Merland's coworkers might kill her. After much pressing, Merland finally agreed to share, but claimed she couldn't find the ticket at that moment. Now, we know you're at the edge of your seats, but here's where it gets even more puzzling. Johannes Michael, the guy who worked at the 7-Eleven where Merland bought the tickets, added an unexpected twist. He said that lottery officials reviewed the store's video footage and believed a man bought the winning ticket. The lottery representative, Carol Everett, didn't confirm or deny this twist at all. Merland's coworkers sued her for lottery fraud as she wasn't agreeing on sharing the win. But it was all for nothing, because the lottery officials claimed that she never won in the first place. Merland Wilson's story is more tangled than a plate of spaghetti. All of this just made us dizzy. Merland's story keeps us guessing about who actually holds the winning ticket and what the truth is behind this tangled web of events. And the next story is about a very unexpected dispute. Number 4. The British National Lottery Legal Showdown. A British woman named Joan bought an instant win game ticket online back in 2015. She was hoping to win big. And she did. She had won a whopping 1 million British pounds. That's about 1.25 million USD. At least she believed she'd won. But a few days later, she was in a legal battle with the company that runs the UK lottery, Camelot. Now, here's how the instant game works. When you play this lottery game, if your numbers match the winning ones, you win a prize. The matched numbers turn white on your screen, and that's when you celebrate. But things took an unexpected turn for Joan. Camelot said there was a technical issue that messed things up. They claimed that Joan's real prize was just £10, not $1 million. Ouch! That's a real heartbreaker. This mix-up happened because of some technical glitch between August 25th and 26th, 2015. Now, Joan took the operator of the National Lottery to court. She was determined to get the £1 million. In the ongoing legal showdown between Joan and Camelot, the stakes were high. Camelot's legal team dismissed Joan's claims and pushed for her case to be thrown out. They were positive that they had a solid chance of winning this trial. But Joan's side, led by barrister James Cowser, wasn't backing down either. They argued that Camelot doesn't have a leg to stand on when it comes to defending against Joan's claims. James Cowser boldly stated that if you look at the contract's true meaning, Joan should win this case fair and square. However, things didn't turn out as expected. According to recent developments, Joan lost the latest battle. Turns out Camelot was right all along. But just because she never technically won the money, it's still gotta be heartbreaking to her. After all, she had no way of knowing the £1 million was never hers. Unlike Joan's battle over a technical fault, the next story on our list tells us how family ties can be severed over lottery winnings. Number 3. The Chase the Ace drama. Coming up is the story of Barbara Raddick in Nova Scotia, Canada. The story starts at the moment when Barbara won $1.2 million. But things weren't smooth after she hit the jackpot. Barbara and her nephew Tyrone both had their names on the lucky ticket from a game called Chase the Ace. Now, you would think that they would be over the moon with joy, right? Well, not exactly. In front of cameras and a cheering crowd, Barbara surprised everyone by looking at her nephew Tyrone and saying, "I'm taking him to court." But why? Well, they disagreed about whether they had a deal to share the money. Barbara insisted there was no such promise. She even planned to hire a lawyer to settle things. However, Tyrone told reporters that they did have an agreement. Barbara, though, was firm and called her nephew a liar. She said she only put his name on the ticket for good luck, and she thought of him like a son, at least in the past. But wait, there's more. Barbara claimed that she only promised to share any smaller winnings, not this whopping jackpot. She told everyone he got lucky, but not $500,000 lucky. Tyrone was desperate to save their relationship, even saying that they didn't need to split the money 50-50. But Barbara held her ground, even in the days following her victory. She mentioned that she had recently bought him a car and helped him pay for college. Therefore, he did not deserve the money. Finally, in September of 2018, a court settlement was made. As a result, Barbara got $850,000 and her nephew took home the remaining $350,000. While Barbara Raddick unwillingly had to share her grand win with her nephew, the next story revolves around a person who found himself in an unnecessary drama. Number 2. Sydney Factory Syndicate. A regular guy, Brendan King from Sydney, Australia, thought he had won the $40 million Powerball jackpot in 2016. Sounds exciting, right? Brendan was a part of a group of 14 factory workers who had teamed up to buy tickets in the hope of sharing that massive $40 million prize. It meant about $2.85 million for each of them. A life-changing amount, no doubt. Brendan King believed he was in the winning group. He had always been part of it, so he was definitely going to get a share. But things got messy. He was told that he wasn't in the gang, and it hurt. Brendan King felt betrayed. He told the press that he felt like someone he'd supported at work just left him hanging. That's a painful thing to experience, especially when there's $2 million involved. But guess what? Brendan King wasn't ready to give up without a fight. He went to court so that they could sort out the who was in and who was out saga. Unfortunately, in 2017, Brendan lost the legal fight, and he had to pay a fee of $1 million to his 14 colleagues from the winning syndicate he worked with. This gave the rest of the members a chance to enjoy their jackpot. One of the winners said, "I'm just so glad I've had the opportunity to share this unbelievable win with my work colleagues. We're all hard workers, and we all put in long shifts at work to earn some extra money for our families." Several members of the group remained anonymous and went for an early retirement. Despite initiating a legal battle against his co-workers, Brendan King lost. The next story on our list involves a similar situation, different circumstances, and an unresolved dispute. Number 1. Windsor's lottery dispute among friends. In Windsor, Ontario, Philip Chochos thought of his friends as family. But something shocking happened in the summer of 2021. His friends won a huge lottery prize of $1 million. It was from a special kind of lottery called Max Million from the Ontario Lottery and Gaming Corporation, OLG. And that's where the problem started. Philip didn't know anything about their big win. He felt hurt and betrayed. He couldn't believe they hadn't told him they'd won when they were like family to him. So Philip took his friends to court. He asked them for $70,000 in money and some other costs like interest. But you can't just take people to court because they didn't tell you something. Philip was also fighting to be recognized as the 17th person on the winning ticket. His friends also hired a lawyer named David Robbins. When asked about what Philip was saying, David had a quick answer. He simply said that Philip didn't put any money into the lottery, so he shouldn't get any of the prizes. Philip Chochos, a former pizza delivery driver, had recently left his job at an auto parts delivery company, but he was still part of a lottery group with his coworkers. Now, let's rewind a bit. In the pandemic year of 2020, their lottery pool had hit pause, like so many things did. But in March 2021, the lottery pool came back to life. Fast forward to June, and Philip got an intriguing offer. There was a big lottery happening, and they wanted to know if he was in. Without hesitation, he joined the game. Here's where it gets interesting. Philip didn't always pay for the lottery tickets right away. Instead, they operated on a credit system. Sometimes he owed as much as $100, but he always settled his debts. Over the past 6 years, he had been part of this lottery pool, and they never kicked him out. In fact, the pool worked on an opt-out basis, as mentioned in the court document. If someone wanted to leave, they had to tell the organizer. The court papers explained that kicking someone out required clear communication. So, when the lottery draw happened in June 2021, Philip had a tab of $30. He received a text message from the group's organizer, Stephen Tedesco. The message read that he needed to pay back the $30 and put in another $10 to stay in the group. Philip agreed to this in a text message, which is documented in the court filing. In another text exchange, Philip interacted with Jesse Reed, who assisted Stephen in managing the pool. Jesse reminded him to pay $10 to stay in, to which he enthusiastically responded that he was in. Hang on, there's more. Philip revealed that he was more than just a participant in the pool. He played his part by cooking for the group and even delivering them pizzas. In a strange turn of fate, the day he learned about the $1 million win, he had just brought them a free pizza. Sadly, Philip stumbled upon the life-changing news not through his friends but on social media. The same guy that's eating my pizza is holding $1 million check, and that's how I found out. How would you feel? That hurt more than anything. The golden ticket was split among the 16 members of the group, each getting about $62,500. However, it would have been slightly less if Philip was included. They would have won $58,000 each. That's a difference of $4,500. Despite his legal battle, he remained surprisingly compassionate. He wished his former friends nothing but success in life. Yet, he was left wondering why they would shatter his dream. We still don't know what happened, but we'll bet Philip will never get that money, and he probably lost his friends too. These stories highlight that when immense wealth is at stake, human relationships can be tested to their limits. But there's another surprising side to lotteries that you don't want to miss. Watch our next video, People Who Tried to Claim Fake Tickets, to see how some people boldly attempted to trick the system for undeserved riches.